Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, I think we have Sid, so better energy. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. I welcome all the guests and members of Whitefield Toastmasters Club. This is meeting number 19. My name is Mazahir, and I'm serving the role of a Sergeant-at-Arms for today's meeting. The role is very simple. It's simply going to ask you to check the basics for a Toastmasters meeting. First thing first, when a speaker is on the dais, avoid making unnecessary movement, such as looking at your phone, if not required so, talking to your peer, or otherwise, because it can distract the speaker. If you have your phone with you and you just arrive and you forgot to maybe put it on silent, there is a small button on your phone. Go ahead and please put it on silent mode if you can. Do it right now. Take about 10 seconds. I see a couple of us are already on phone, so I'm putting mine on silent. Okay, yeah. Another thing is, as this meeting is in progress, you can see a tripod, you can see a phone, the meeting is getting recorded. So if there is anybody who does not consent to be recorded, please let us know right now by raising your hand. So when it's your turn towards the dais, we will pause the recording. Is there anybody who doesn't wish to be recorded? Don't worry. Alright, that's fine. Sid said it's alright, so it's alright. The entire meeting is recorded basically. Okay? As a Sergeant-at-Arms, it is also my responsibility to let you know about the entry and exit point. Is the same door downstairs is the exit, same door downstairs is the entry. We have male and female washroom downstairs on the ground floor. We have a couple of water bottles. Please feel free to use them. Towards the end of the meeting, we will be also using the voting link, which will be provided to each one of you to vote for certain role players within the meeting. Also, as Sergeant-at-Arms, it is a request for me once again to make sure that do not make any kind of unnecessary movement. There'll be a lot of people will be coming in and out. It's okay. It is our responsibility to let them know towards the end. After the meeting is over, we will be requesting all of you to come join us for snacks that we do. Just like how every organization has a mission, Toastmaster also has a mission. I'm going to quickly read that for all of you. Thank you. As a club mission, we provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With that, I would like to welcome the presiding officer for today's meeting to officially open it. So can we have a huge round of applause for presiding officer Toastmaster Mazahir? I, as the presiding officer, would like to officially start the meeting number 21. Stay connected. The theme, it's very personal to me. There was a friend of ours who passed away last year, and before a couple of weeks or about a month or so, he sent me a video. It's a video about a Pakistani professor giving an interview and talking about how it is important and what you need to do to make sure that you stay connected with your friends. At times, we might feel that, oh, the other person doesn't even take a single step to be connected with me. We do have our friends in our phone list who we haven't contacted for, forget months, years. We all look at each other and we know that our priorities changes from time to time. Maybe for this month, maybe for 6 months, maybe for a year, it is different. But it is also important to stay connected with our near and dear ones. So if there is anybody who you feel that you haven't connected, I'm going to share a small mantra with all of you. Whenever you happen to have a free time, just scroll through your phone in the contact of people who you haven't connected with in long time. See if you can probably just simply send them a text saying, hello, checking to see how you're doing. Now, there's a huge possibility some of them may not reply because they're angry. However, some of them might. So go ahead and give a try. And you never know, the person who you're texting might be in the same town as you are, right? And you never know, you might be able to pull some plans with them. My name is Mazahir, and I'm the presiding officer for today's meeting. We have a couple of guests with us today. So without further ado, I would like to request each one of you to quickly stand at the place where you are right now and let us know your name, and is this the first time you're visiting our club, and what brings you to Whitefield Toastmasters. So we can start with Ananya.
Hello everyone, I am Nirmal. I work as a consultant officer, and this is my first time visiting Whitefield Toastmasters. So what brings me here is that I am an ex-Toastmaster and used to go to my Toastmaster club in Mumbai, and I used to have the best time there. And I would like to find that kind of energy, that kind of enthusiasm here in Bangalore as well. And this particular time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. used to be the time seen as there in Mumbai. So
Okay.
this was the best for me.
So we are Bhopal Toastmasters in Whitefield.
Yeah, so happy to meet you all and looking forward to this meeting.
Welcome. In case you didn't hear, that was Ananya, guys. So can we have a huge round of applause for Ananya? That was for the camera. So we already know Shubham. Shubham, I'm going to ask you, Avnindra, if you can please stand and introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Amindra and this is my second time, and I am working as a IT consultant with one of the multinational companies. I am looking forward to improve my interpersonal skill, communication skill and leadership skill, and I am looking forward to join this club. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome, Ananya. It's not recorded. You will not be seen. May I request the person next to Sid? Yes.
Yeah, my name is second name is Johan. And I'm from Tamil Nadu. I was here for the weekend. So he was an actor. I thought I was just joining. See what's up.
Thank you. Welcome. So Siddharth is a very committed guy. Other Siddharth just told that he works in Hyderabad. I would differ. I don't think so. He's particularly located in one particular state. I think he's constantly traveling to multiple places within India or maybe abroad for work. Welcome all the guests and all the members. With that note, I also request you to give a huge round of applause for the dignitaries sitting in the room. We have Division A Director Toastmaster Nippy with us. It's a wonderful theme. I'm really emotional, telling you about the story about a friend who passed away and then the message that he sent me on my WhatsApp, right? I think our Toastmaster of the day has a lot for us in his kitty, right? I would like to introduce somebody, and before that, Master of Ceremony, usual for any particular show, is known as a Toastmaster of the day at Toastmaster meeting. Somebody who will take the entire show forward on his or her shoulder. This person who's about to introduce is one of the pillars of Whitefield Toastmaster. Somebody who carries never say never kind of an attitude. Somebody who's really receptive to feedback that has been provided. I think that's a very unique thing to have within us as a human. Feedback can be provided. It's up to the person to take it. I think this person takes it to his heart and always work on implementing things. Somebody who is a constant support to everybody over here. For today's meeting, to take this meeting forward, I would like to introduce Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kevin. Over to you.
So everyone, how are you guys today morning? Are you all excited and energized?
Yes.
All right. So welcome to meeting number 21 of Whitefield Toastmasters. And first of all, happy Mother's Day to mothers over here. Yeah. And to start off, so we have some guests joining in. Okay. So my mother and grandmother, and my grandmother actually recently passed away, they're not really tech savvy. Okay, they are from this old school generation where they actually connect with people, like face to face or through a phone. But my mother, she's okay. She manages the WhatsApp, Instagram and Facebook now, because whenever there's a birthday, my father and mother will be the first one to wish in Facebook. Nowadays, that trend is gone. No one is wishing people on Facebook. But my parents will do that. Okay. The first thing she did in the morning is send a happy Mother's Day message in all the groups. That's how I came to know today is Mother's Day. Now, the reason why I say this is because we got a different style of connecting in Kerala. So here probably, maybe after this meeting, all of you might like try to connect with each other, ask your names, where are you working, where are you from? It ends over there. Then we'll have some chai because we need some privacy, right? Sometimes we might not share everything with everyone. But it's completely different in Kerala, especially in my place called Thrissur, where people are so extremely well connected. For example, my place, my father's place in Kerala is so connected that the grandfather who's brushing teeth in the end of the street, I mean, the people on the other end of the street will know that he's brushing his teeth. So that's the kind of connection that is there in Kerala, which is actually a good thing. So today people will say, we need privacy. I mean, we don't want to share everything with everyone. But here it's a different case altogether. So we have Google reviews now, or we can get reviews from different websites on how this car is, or how is the performance of the car. Should I buy this car? These people would have already known, okay, Raju's son had bought the car and he said it was good. So it's good only. He's been running it for like so many kilometers now. There's even a movie that I saw recently in Netflix. Ranbir Kapoor and Shraddha Kapoor. I forgot, it's a long name, that movie. I mean, I think it is the top one in Netflix right now, in movies. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. You only saw the trailer. Because it is a little bit of overacting, but I like the theme of the movie. So, that being said, who among us can tell your grandfather's brother's son's daughter's name? Daughter or son's name? Who among us can do that? Who's capable of doing that? Oh my God, you have the capability. My sister has the capability, my mother has the capability, but I cannot. The moment I call my mother, the first thing she'll say is, she went to attend my grandfather's brother's son's daughter's wedding, and it was wonderful. The function was great. So that's the kind of connection they can build. So our connections are now stuck in LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, where we might be having 1 lakh followers, but out of which we don't know anyone in person. And if you change your job, or maybe if your content is not good enough, followers will also drop. So basically you are lonely. So to change this, let's start connecting with people in a more better manner. I would say to start off, ask a little bit more about their family, try to build up a conversation this way. That way we'll be more connected. I'll get into the rest part. I mean, I have a lot to say about this, but before I proceed, since we have a long meeting ahead of us, I would like to call upon the general evaluator for today, who's none other than the division director for Division A, and she's also a founder and a genetic counselor. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Nebi.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and especially to the guests who have made it here on a warm and bright Sunday morning. My role as a general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting, everything that happened well, right from the beginning to the end of the meeting. What are examples of good preparation from various role takers and speakers through the meeting? And I will also give some areas of improvement for the club and the role takers as a general role at the end of the meeting. To help me in my role, I have a team, the tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian. I request the timer to come up and explain your role?
Good morning, dear Toastmasters and guests. I'll be playing the role of timer today, and as a timer, I will time the prepared speaker, evaluators, and table topic speakers. For prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, where 5 minutes I will be showing this green card, and 6 minutes this yellow card, and 7 minutes the red card. And for icebreaker speeches, it's 4 to 6 minutes. So again, at 4 minutes green card, 5 minutes yellow card, and 6 minutes the red card. For speech evaluations, it's 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes the green card, 2 minutes 30 seconds the yellow card, and 3 minutes it's the red card. For table topic speeches, it's 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute it's the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds it's the yellow card, and 2 minutes it's the red card. So each speaker will be given a 30 seconds of grace time, and after that it will be considered as a disqualification. I will present my report at the end of the meeting when we call. Thank you. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you. For the R counter, we have Toastmaster Saurav. Can I request you to explain your role?
This has to be fixed. Hello, distinguished Toastmasters and guests. I have taken the R counter role. So I will be identifying the fillers, crutch words, and pause. So fillers are like and the crutch words are like okay. Right, this kind of thing, and I will give the report at the end. So that it cause irritation to the audience. So to avoid all those things, I will be identifying and giving at the end of the meeting. I think when I will be called later. Yeah, thank you.
And we have the last role taker, the grammarian. I request Toastmaster Krishna to please come and explain your role.
Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and my dear guest. So my role as a grammarian to introduce with the word of the day, and I will encourage its use by every participant. I will listen to the word uses and note the misuse of the English language, such as incomplete sentences and incorrect grammar, etc. I will take a good and not good uses of the languages as well, and I will share my report after the meeting. Dear friends, what is the use of grammar in communication? For me, grammar is the fuel of the communication. Like everyone knows, we can't run the car, we can't drive the car without the fuel. Likewise, if you don't have we cannot deliver an effective communication without using appropriate grammar. With that, I will introduce the word of the day, which is disseminate. I will repeat again. The word of the day is disseminate, that is verb, and we can use this like the internet allows us to disseminate information faster. I will again repeat the phrases. The internet allows us to disseminate information faster. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Grammarian Krishna. I request everybody over here to use the word of the day so that that can disseminate into our daily professional lives. So all of us gives a thumbs up when somebody uses the word of the day. There's no limit. Please feel free to use it as many times as possible through this meeting. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
So let us all disseminate what I'm going to tell today. So the other thing that I wanted to point out before I get into the next part of the agenda is these days, I mean, WhatsApp is definitely a very good means of communicating with others. No doubt about that. It's easier to coordinate with people, like hundreds of people at the same time, instead of calling them in person. But please understand, this is just to like pass on the information. But we are not actually the human, we sometimes lack the human connect there. So I have a cousin of mine who tries to bring human connect in the messages. And how she does this is, my mother will be the first one who will say, whose birthday is that for today? First of all, it will start with my uncle who wakes up at 5:30. The way how we know that he woke up is he'll be sending a good morning in the group. So we understood he woke up. Then my mother will point out who all is having birthday on that day. She'll start with happy birthday, this person. That person themselves might have forgotten their birthday, but she will remember that and she'll put that in the group. Then comes the flow of messages. Then people start waking up slowly. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Now this cousin of mine will also put a happy birthday, but she'll put a happy birthday with such a lot of emojis. I mean, balloon, white balloon, red balloon, purple balloon, chocolate, ice cream. I mean, that's how she puts it. So even if you place that mobile on the road, like how in Dubai they said they want to see the Palm Island from the moon, her message will be visible from the moon. That's the number of emojis she'll put. So there's nothing wrong in doing that. If you don't have time, it's fine. You can send messages. But it's always good to pick that phone and call that person and wish him a happy birthday on special occasions and just ask how is he doing. That way it will be a good way to connect in this busy life of yours. With this, I would like to go ahead to the next part of the session. And for this, I would like to first call upon the evaluator for speech 1, which is Radha. I think Radha is not yet here. She might be on the way.
You can actually do Resha, who's my speaker, and you can do Trishya also. You can actually call Trishya first.
I'll show you. Yeah, Trishya. So there's a little bit of change in the chronological order since our evaluator is on the way. So I would like to call upon the evaluator for speech number 4, which is Trishya. So Trishya, she is an investment banker. And and Trishya, before you, so you can come ahead. And you can just introduce yourself or give a tip on how you connect with people.
Thank you, Toastmasters Kevin. Good morning, everyone. I'm Trishya. I work as an investment banker in a boutique investment banking firm, and I stay in Bangalore. So as a twist in this meeting, Kevin asked me to give a hint about how I connect with people. So in this age of internet, it becomes very important for us to actually go meet people and network. So when I meet people and network, one thing which I have realized is as much as we are so genuine in making a conversation and genuinely wanting to know about somebody or listen to someone speaking, I think that's when you actually form a connection. And it becomes very important when you actually want to network as well. So with that, I'd like to now give a brief about the speaker. So the speaker today is attempting his level 2, part 1. So he is attempting to speak about, to understand his communication style. So the purpose of this project is to learn about different communication styles and identify their primary style. So the purpose of the speech is for the member to share the impact of their style on others. I hope Akshay today disseminates his style on all of us. Thank you.
Level 2, P1, L2.
Thank you, Trisha, for giving the tip as well. And now I would like to call upon the speaker number 4 for today, which is Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay will be giving this level 2 P1 speech. And so Toastmaster Akshay, over to you.
Understanding communication style.
So sorry, I have to say this as well. So it is understanding communication style, Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay, understanding communication style.
Thank you. Humans are the consolidation of their habits. From childhood, we have heard about lot many habits and quotes about them, quotes about good habits and bad habits, like your habits will decide your future, or maybe bad habits die hard, and etc. etc. But what about strange habits? What about them? Every one of us possesses strange habits, some or the other, but I have rarely heard anyone talking about their strange habits in the public. Therefore, today, I want to take this opportunity to bring this topic on the table and ease out the pressure which we all have somewhere within ourselves. Good morning to distinguished guests and my fellow Toastmasters. I believe that we should at least discuss some of our strange habits with our friends and relatives. And if we tell them, it is possible that some of them might feel that we are mad or crazy, but majority of them will relate to us. As everyone knows that charity begins from home, so I'll start with myself. I'll confess some of my strange habits in front of you all. And I must say that it was difficult to jot down these habits because these habits somewhere happen subconsciously, not on a conscious side. And the disclaimer is these habits are remotely related to efficiency or productivity, unlike the mainstream habits. So taking it from the top, the first and the most common one is I eat food items in the order of least liked to most liked, so that the last food item I am eating can taste the best and the taste remains with me. I bet that at least half of you will agree with me on this. So, moving on to the next one, I measure time in music. What does it mean? For example, it will take me one song to cover one lap. So, I take it as a challenge that whatever the song which is playing in my head or in the headphones, until unless it gets over, I have to cover a certain stretch. And whenever I've analyzed this thing, that whenever I take it as a challenge, my speed automatically increases and I'm able to cover that distance before that song gets over. And if I win, then I declare myself a winner inside my head. And if I lose, I try again the same thing in the next lap. So this weird habit of mine has sometimes helped me to cover 7 to 8 kilometers effortlessly. Moving on to the next one, this is the super odd. So if I am holding some baby, sometimes I get the weirdest impulses. What if the baby falls from my hand? So as already stated that this is the weirdest one, I will restrain myself to further discussion, but not to mention I become extra careful whenever I get these type of impulses. Now I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever tried to accomplish or complete certain small task before the microwave is done or the bucket gets filled with water? This is the fourth one. I open the tap in the bathroom and keep the bucket underneath, and now the countdown begins. I complete all the small tasks. For example, wrapping up my clothes, sorting my workbench, or maybe doing my bed, etc., etc. And somehow this timer acts like a catalyst, and it helps me to complete all those small tasks which I was dragging all day long, and I can complete those tasks within no time. This actually helps me sometime because it actually comes as a surprise that I have done all those tasks within 10 minutes which I was dragging all day long. Moving on to the final one. This is not related to me. This is something which I recently noticed in my father. My parents visited to my place for a couple of weeks, and one of those days I noticed my father that he was watching some YouTube video related to horoscope. So at first I was not surprised because it is very common in Indian households to look for basic horoscope before things like marriage or buying a house or buying a car, etc. So at first I was not in doubt. But another day he was again consuming the similar content, and this time I noticed, or my ears caught, the name of a political party being taken inside that video. I was in doubt. I stood up and I went to my father's room and I asked him that, Papa, I have just heard the name of a political party being taken inside the video you are watching right now. He said, so what? I explained him my doubt that you were watching a horoscope video, so how come a name of a political party is being taken inside the video? So he said, oh, actually I was watching the yearly horoscope of that political party. Such a strange habit. Long story short, we shared a healthy laughter after that because it is a very strange habit. Now I have shared my top strange habits with you, even about my father's. Do not pretend that you do not relate to any one of these, because somewhere I believe that every one of us has one or the other peculiar habits, but we restrain ourselves to discuss those habits out in public in the fear of being judged by the society. I request you all not to be so hard on yourself. Go out today and spread and disseminate one of your strange habits with your loved one and share a super healthy laughter. That's all from my side. Over to you, Team Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for that wonderful speech. So the way Akshay correlated, gave that strange story of Akshay's dog and father. So, and we were also able to have a good laughter, which is actually a great idea. With this, I would like to go to the next speech, and the evaluator for the next speech would be none other than Toastmaster Mazahir, who is the president of our club. And Toastmaster Mazahir, over to you.
I think if you agree with me or not, I think anybody who comes on the stage requires much more motivation with the round of applause. So can you give me a better round of applause? Thank you so much. It's definitely an honor to evaluate the next speaker's speech. Our next speaker will be delivering a speech from Pathways Level 1 Project 3, which is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose of this speech for our speaker is for the speaker to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Speaker has requested to take both into the consideration, though the evaluation says it's or. However, he has requested for the same. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes for the speech. And back to you, Toastmaster Day. All the best to our speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir, DTM Mazahir. So now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Vaishak, who is actually a member of Whitefield Toastmasters Club. And to talk about Toastmaster Vaishak, he is a consultant working for a EV car company based out of Vietnam. And he's been part of our Whitefield Toastmaster journey for quite some time now. And the speech title for Toastmaster Vaishak is Mr. BC Put My Marriage in Deep Waters. Mr. BC Put My Marriage in Deep Waters, Toastmaster Vaishak.
How many of you like to wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee and admire the beauty of nature outside? How many of you do that? Or maybe some beauty outside happens, right? Additionally to that, we like that feeling of sunlight on our face. Mr. Sun comes and kisses my cheek in the morning and wishes me a very good morning. And then Mr. BC comes out. Oh man, BC, black cloud. He comes and brings darkness with him. And a warning to all of us office folk. Don't you dare step outside. Of course, when Mr. BC comes, it is followed by flooded roads and muddy puddles, both of them which I don't like. Dear Toastmasters and guests, let me recount a story of my life to you, which incidentally, Mr. BC took my marriage through deep waters. Chennai, 2015. December, 3 months after my marriage. I woke up in the morning with my regular routine, carrying my cup of coffee and going out to the balcony. And there he was. Oh man, Mr. BC with his wings wide spread apart, bringing darkness to the entire horizon. I thought, it's all right. We'll brave the weather and still go to office. As we were getting ready, I heard thunder outside. And then my wife came up to me and she was like, let's not go today. Let's stay back at home. To this very day, I am thankful that she insisted we stayed back. Then started a heavy downpour. It rained cats and dogs is an understatement. It was raining cows and bulls. The rain disseminated over the entire horizon and surrounded wherever my eyes could reach. The power went off, which was very normal, but it shocked us when it never came back. We went on to have our breakfast and then opened our laptops only to see that there was no network. The broadband was not working, our mobile phones were not working. We just looked at each other and stared. What do? We only had WhatsApp at that time, and Instagram was something that I was not very familiar with. So we kept swiping up each other's life stories. We spent the rest of the day just counting our rations, preparing for the worst, and well, just speaking to each other. We were still newly married, so we had a lot of stories to share. The next day morning, I went out to see how Mr. BC was doing. And he was still there. And the rain had the same intensity. But I couldn't help and let out a little yelp. When I saw outside, my entire apartment complex was an island. We were surrounded on 4 sides by water and nothing else. We had very little food left, and we then realized the importance of keeping connections with our neighbors. We never did. Seeing that we were in a very troubled situation, we both looked at each other and had the same thought. We mustered up the courage, packed our laptops, because that is all that we needed, and braved the world outside. We embarked on an adventure to reach the bus stop. Why this is an adventure? I'll tell you. We stepped down from the apartment complex. Like I said, we were surrounded on all four sides by water. For the first time in my life, I hailed a boatman to take me to the main road. As he came, we went on to his makeshift boat, which was actually a Syntex tank cut in half. And we went all the way to the main road. We had to reach the bus terminus, which was 5 kilometers away, and walking or swimming was out of the question. We saw a very smart auto rickshaw driver standing there, showing off with his auto because that was the only vehicle I could see. But he was playing a dual role. The auto driver, instead of being an auto driver, was also a bouncer. Why a bouncer? He allowed only people with a pink slip to get into his auto. The pink slip, the 2000 rupee note, only if you shine that in his face, he would allow you to get into his auto club. We had that, thankfully. We gave it to him and told him to drop us to the bus terminus. As we went on in our auto journey through what seemed like water highways, we finally reached the bus terminus only to see a queue longer than 5 kilometers waiting to get into a bus. But my wife, again, thankful to her, she knew a guy who could get us onto the very first bus. Honestly, if I had the opportunity to sit on the driver's lap and travel all the way home, I would have done that. That was the situation we were in, and we were thankful that we got just one seat for both of us. We had a very romantic and relaxing ride all the way back home, and as we touched base in my hometown, we just set out a sigh of relief. We were happy to be on dry lands after a very long time. We reached home to be greeted by all our neighbors and friends, and I just ran to my bedroom, hugged my favorite pillow, and went to sleep. After some time, I woke up and went down for a cup of coffee. My mom gave me the cup of coffee. I went outside to be sun-kissed again, only to see Mr. BC. Oh man, he followed me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishak, for that wonderful speech. I mean, there's something about Vaishak. Vaishak is like, as you all know, he's already competed in our contest. And he's got his own charisma and way of saying a speech, which is wonderful, brilliant. And there's a brilliant story that you portrayed. With this, I would like to go ahead with the next speech. And before I do that, just one incident that came to my mind about staying connected. So, for example, if I just went outside and I come back home and I tell my mother, I met this person on the way. So she'll ask me, what's his family name and where is he from? So these are the two questions that I didn't ask him. I've asked him everything else, what he does, who all are there in his family and all that. Now what she will ask me is, so what exactly did you talk with him? You didn't ask the family name and you didn't ask where he's from. This is not how we communicate. Which is actually a great lesson for me. With this, I would like to call upon the evaluator for the next speaker. And it's none other than Toastmaster Raj. So Toastmaster Raj is also a part of Whitefield Toastmasters and is currently serving as VP membership. Toastmaster Raj works in the financial sector. He works very closely with the Reserve Bank of India. And yes, Toastmaster Raj, over to you.
All is well. All is well. How many of you had breakfast today in the morning? Where is the energy when a person comes on the stage? Come on, guys, harder for me. Come on. Oh, come on. Wonderful. That's how you motivate yourself when you come on the stage and force the audience to do so. Okay. Difficult situation for me because this is my first speech evaluation. Fortunately or unfortunately, the speaker is also delivering his first speech. The purpose of the speech is, as I said, my first time, so it's a life journey on how he transformed his life philosophy. The member is completing his speech for the first time. He's attempting level 1 P1. I would now request Toastmaster Atul to please come on stage, please. Come on, guys. I think I will be run. Okay.
All right. So today we have 5 speeches, right? 5 speeches itself is a great thing because I'm seeing this for the first time. And the another great thing is we have an icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Atul, another member of Whitefield Toastmasters. And so the speech title of that Atul has chosen for his icebreaking speech is "A Fish Trying to Climb a Tree." A fish trying to climb a tree, Toastmaster Atul.
Sir, I'm a fish trying to climb a tree, as I am the incredible fish. That's what my name Atul means. That's what my parents thought I will be. That's what I thought I am. Or that's what I made myself think of me. Even in my teenage, I had this Gmail ID, atultheincredible@gmail.com. I know many of you used to have those kind of email IDs, and later on we get embarrassed of it. I come from an incredible place, Varanasi. I very strongly advocate and display in front of people that I come from Varanasi, though that's 150 kilometers away from my place. As the real name of my place terrifies the heck out of people. It's Daudpur. The top mafia of India have their roots from that place. Now, this all influenced me so much that in my childhood, I used to dream of being a fighter, a savior, a hunk macho personality. I still do. But my Bengali mother, on the other hand, had something different on her mind. She wanted to raise a nerd out of me. But to her surprise, I didn't become either. What I did become, but to her satisfaction, at least my school marks did the work. Coming to my school was almost 2 hours away from my home. 4 hours of daily up and down did not leave much time on hand. And I did not know when I grew so weak. It was until I got the reality check. So once upon a time in my school, 150 boys were made to run a race. It did not sadden me that I stood last. What saddened me that the penultimate person from the last was cheering me, or to say actually shouted on me to complete the damn race so that they can have samosas after that. After this, I had only one sports session in the week, one PT session. And the sports assistant used to only teach the girls for the reasons best known to him. And the boys, 50 boys, were left with a football. 50 freaking boys behind one football. So of course goals were out of the question. What used to happen is that I used to give my all just to touch the ball once. And I came from nursery till 8th standard that I finally got the chance to hit the ball. And that came in form of winning the goal. The ball came out of nowhere and I was nearing the goal post. Whole of my classmates, they jumped upon me, climbed upon me and cheered the undoable. This incredible fish saw the glimpse of the goal for the first time. He saw the glimpse of the tree for the first time. Now that was the time to gear up on his studies. My father had an excellent excuse for not having extra tuitions. Son, the tuition shall make you crippled. It shall make you dependent. You are born on 15th August. You are the independent one. You will become a leader, seek your own solutions. I don't know how much that made me a leadership, how that made me a leader, but that definitely made a maverick out of me. This maverick mindset, coupled with an intuition of tick marking, got me into a good college, quite good college. In the college, I don't know, when I grew to 100 kgs, I grew up to 100 kgs with a geek look. Now I wanted to beat this geek look. To beat the geek look, I joined the companionship of a mischievous lot. To do something brave, bold, fun, too much fun. And that actually landed me getting 3 disciplinary actions. The whole committee of professors know me in person till date because of my commitment, because of my mischievous things that I did there. Rightly so, I was punished by the committee to serve the villages in Bengal. The maverick got disciplined and humbled to the right extent and to the right thing. Actually, it became the real maverick who takes the responsibility of its actions. I got a job in Mumbai. I went there. I met a girl. We started an investment facility services of our own. We were doing good. The venture was doing good. But an unfortunate incident made me leave that. An unfortunate incident made me separate from the closest person I was to. And that shattered me. That shattered me into pieces. That left me and broke me into pieces. And that was the time, I can say, till now the fish was jumping off the water. But for the first time, the fish was taken out of the water completely. The maverick me died. The incredible me died. I went back to my home. I purchased a new home in Kolkata. The settled time gave me a peace of mind to bring the pieces together of what matters to me. And I found 5 things. Excellent fitness, anonymous fame, expanding business, listening audience, and an extremist love. And I'm striving for it. It has given me a time of all this to settle an anonymous business, and I developed a page with a very strong audience. Having joined Toastmasters, I look forward to deliver the same viewpoints across a range of topics in person to a listening audience. With this, I can say, this fish, though incredible or not, is climbing a tree of what matters to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atul, for that wonderful speech. For an icebreaker, it was a great one, right? What do you guys think? Yes. All right, awesome. And really, we could connect with what you said, like about that incident. I mean, the experience you shared with your father and all that. Truly connectable, because we will be having our own experiences with our fathers. And yeah, with this, I would like to call upon the evaluator for the next speech, which is Toastmaster Radha. So Toastmaster Radha she loves cooking, dancing, okay. Okay, a lot of things. She will tell what all she likes. And then, yeah, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Radha.
So that happens when you don't come on time and don't share your introduction. Good morning, everybody. This is Radha Kashinathan. Where is Toastmaster Mohan? Yes. So Toastmaster Mohan is going to give his icebreaker speech. The objective for the same is him to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I would also like to give you one additional objective, and that is just enjoy yourself. Looking forward to your speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Kevin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radha. Before I proceed, just give me a moment. All right. So again, we have one more icebreaker speech for today. I don't know, today is going to be a memorable day in history. I hope this happens again. So we have 5 speeches in a day. I'm just reiterating. And we have one more icebreaker for today, which is again a great thing. And Toastmaster Mohan has come up with a unique idea, not having a topic as such. So he'll just give a speech, an icebreaker speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohan.
Okay. Still, I feel wondered how we people came on time. The Bangalore traffic. So let me introduce myself, Morgan. So I will share my what's my experience in the past few years, how my life journey was. Because I'm from Chennai, the basic middle class family. So in our college days, we know that there are 3 types of peoples. One is the first row peoples, the next is the last row peoples. These 2 guys are actually blessed. Why? There are, apart from the 2 guys, there are one more thing is trust peoples. It's called middle class. It's average middle bench students. I am one of the middle bench student. Before knowing anything about the engineering, I passed my engineering at 17 passed out. But once after I step out from the college, later that only realized that this is not actually the life. The real life is just to be it's not very romantic, how it's seeing in the films. It's very tragic. Or when, without knowing anything about engineering, I feel I'm an engineering student, I just want to be a mechanical engineer. So I randomly went outside, went for some small scale industry, working for a toller's shift, for standing of tollers and working for 7K salary. Without knowing engineering, I just want to be an engineer. So I spent a year over there. Later that I realized that it's not my field. I just quit the job and went to home and speak to my dad about it. Okay, yeah, bro, I didn't have an idea about that. Give me a job idea or something. He simply says, did you attend any 40 to 50 companies? Did you attend any interviews? Nothing, right? Go, search by yourself. At the point, I feel worried. I hope that he will help me, but even he also doesn't help me. Yeah, I feel zero. I feel I'm become zero. I just ran to the sea. Whenever I feel lonely, I just went out. I just ran to the sea, cried myself. So now I feel that why mentioning this, something like that. If I get, suppose if he helped at that time means it's I never get it. I won't be stand here. So I was searching for myself. Later that I joined in one company in the harbor, working as a survey engineer for next couple of days, a couple of months. Over that time, the one big thing was happened. It's called pandemic. Everyone mentioning that even over in the pandemic, our life journey was become down. I shut down my company. Most of the people are telling like that. But for me, the pandemic will become a change in my life. Or not in the bad time, it changed my life tragically in the upside down. Because we know that while in that pandemic, the companies are the offline companies are closed, but the online industry will become evolved. Because in my, one thing I feel happy about myself is I don't know anything about engineering, but I always using my mobile, not as a gadget, gaming mobile, just using a mobile, routing a flashing OS, routing something, using a mobile. That's my only interest from my childhood. So later that only realized that, okay, this is my field. This is what I want to be. I don't want to be an engineer. I have to be a digital thing. I'm a purely digital guy. In the COVID time, okay, again I quit the job. I become zero. The past 3 years back, I become zero. So at the moment I realized that, okay, let it be. Just go with the flow. I start watching movies, using my mobile. That's it. At the point, I saw some YouTube video. It's in the tech speaker. It mentioned that AI and visual things. It's going to be the future for the next few years. I got impressed in the word. So I randomly visit one center in the Chennai. So searching for some courses for the cyber security. Even I don't know, I am a zero at C and C++. With the confidence, I just went to the institute and searching for the course for cyber security. At the demo class, I realized that, okay, this is not my field. When went back to the institute, they gave me a brochure. In the brochure, they are showing 30 to 40 courses what they are actually offering. Over the list, it's one more course. It's called UX Way. It's a product designing. Because I'm using mobile for past few years, so I know that UI means it's a user interface. I have an idea about that. Okay, later that only realized that, okay, the term looks familiar. Okay, let's search in the Google. What is UX Way? It's a user design. My second question, second search is about, is that coding skills required for UI UX? The answer is no. I feel happy. Okay, nice. This is what I'm searching for, because I know my skills are coding. Okay, then nothing. Chill. Okay, finalized. Then I was searching, looking for what are the how to become a UX. It's about self-taught. Okay, start my journey as that designer. Over that year, it's become nice. I searching for what is the technical in that. It's about what of the color theory. Everything is there. Over the past years, spending so much time into that. Now I feel that I'm in Bangalore. I'm working as a senior product guy in my company. It's an ed tech platform. Now I don't mention that I'm become successful, but I feel confidence right now. I just want to be more higher from there. For shy zero guy, become right now as a successful mentor for the last 2 months. I almost mentored people, 100 people for the last 3 months. Most searched mentors in the past 2 months. I don't mention that it's a success. I feel happy about myself. I feel confident. So that's my story about the.
Another wonderful icebreaker. I mean, completely relatable to what Mohan said. That journey of finding your passion and getting the job that you always dreamt for. Sometimes people say, you have to, like, we hear a lot of audio clips, right? So where people will say, motivation speakers will say, try to find what are you really? What is the stuff in you? Which is actually the most difficult thing. I can totally relate to what Mohan said when he feel like crying and going to the sea, and when we feel like we are not worth it. But the way how we found out how he's worth is by digging into the opportunities and finding out, okay, this is something that will match my skill set, and completely relatable. I hope everyone was able to relate as well. With this, I would like to go to the next segment of our meeting, which is the table topics, and I would like to call upon I would like to call upon Toastmaster Arindam. Toastmaster Arindam. Toastmaster Arindam is another seasoned Toastmaster and is also part of Whitefield Toastmaster Club. We are looking forward to a great table topic session as usual. He is the table topic master of our club. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Surya. You talked about Siddharth Reddy, and I think he is connected with you at heart, and that is what you talked about as well. Okay. Thank you so much. I think it was great to have so many speakers coming here, talking about their journey, talking about their thoughts, about the topics for 2 minutes. It's a great way to stand here and talk to the entire audience here. All the best. Thank you so much.
Another exciting table topic session. As usual, Arindam has he has given a killer session. Arindam is specialized in table topics. Whenever he does table topic, it is always interesting and fun. And I hope all of you had fun. And personally, I felt connected to, and I felt some of the table topic speeches were really good. For example, Namush. And the youngest person in our crowd. And as usual, sit. Good that it started to sit because the energy level was watertight, and then it disseminated to all of you. Alright, so with that, I would like to end with another the final state-connected related story that happened yesterday. So my friend was both of us were coming down the lift. And actually when we entered the lift, there was a lady with a Shih Tzu dog. So my friend is nowadays trying to connect with anyone and everyone. And he started creating a conversation. He said, so this lady was like, sit doggy, sit. And the doggy was very obedient, listening to the owner or the master. And my friend is he started a conversation. He said, oh, very obedient dog. And by the time we were on the ground floor, he asked, what's the dog's name? So she said, Bum. So I lost it at that. And then we came out and I was he's asking me why is she, I was just trying to connect. I said, that could be the name of the dog. So the reason why I actually quoted this is because in India we have this tendency of maybe not talking to strangers very easily. But if you go abroad, it's a very common thing. So anyone, if someone just passes this way, he'll say, good morning, good afternoon, and you will just say, hi, how are you? So you'll simply just say that. But that's not a general practice in India. So my professor has an answer for this. In my MBA, my professor, she said, the reason is because the foreigners, they don't have anyone to talk to. Maybe they're living alone. So when they see another human being passing by, so he's just trying to create a conversation. But we Indians have a lot of people to talk to. Maybe we came outside to just get escapism. Okay, with this, I would like to, my part is over, and I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Nidhi, who will be.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kevin. Before I start with my general evaluation report, with the permission of the club president, I am seeking the floor permission to exceed some time. It's 12:40 exactly right now. We were supposed to wrap up at 12:45. Can I get your permission for another 20 minutes? Okay, thank you. So there is an unsaid saying in general, be quick, be concise, be gone. I will try my best to keep up with that. We start with our evaluators first. The first evaluator moderator, I request Toastmaster Trisha to please come and share your evaluation for our speaker, Toastmaster Akshay. A big round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmasters Nidhi. So, to start with the evaluation, Akshay, you did a wonderful job today. And the most important thing that I have to mention before I begin my evaluation is that you met the purpose of your speech. Very congratulations for that. I noticed that your style, as you were trying to identify your style is more about talking in stories, talking in anecdotes, which connects with people, larger audience in a very beautiful manner. And you add an element of humor to this, which makes it totally interesting and holds the audience throughout the speech. Here I liked a few things, and I really learned that from you today, which is first and the foremost thing is that despite having 5 different stories in your entire speech, you had structured that in a very beautiful manner that didn't break the flow of the speech at all. Kudos to you for that. The speech was presented with so much clarity at your own pace that you didn't leave the audience clueless or didn't understand about anything. It was very clearly done. Usage of language was very simple. Kudos to you again on that. And since you started talking about experience from your own life, you had so much comfort on that speech, and that reflected as confidence that you had when you were talking here. And of course, you had a beautiful smile all through the speech, which I really liked. So there are at Toastmasters, all of us are here to learn and improve every day. And every meeting, we need to implement what we learned from the previous meeting. So I have a little bit of points for improvements that you may have to consider. First thing is that when you're delivering the speech, you had this movement. So this could have been done better when you had taken a firm position on the stage and had a good eye contact with the people. To begin with, you take this position and you start speaking. That gives you a space, an idea of the space that you have to restrict to and you can use. And just like what I did right now, you had a lot of pauses after using "and," which I thought could have been improved if you had a very, they say key pointers. So when you have to deliver a speech, you have 5 or 6 key points in your mind, which will help you recollect the points that you have to say when you're actually saying. So I would, suggest you may do that. That will help you really stay connected and not lose the flow of the speech when you're actually, presenting the whole speech. And one more thing was, so when you started your speech, you had a very beautiful energy. You started with a very loud, very audible voice that had woke up, the audience. But I felt that you needn't have given your concept of the speech. So, for example, you talked about strange habits today. Instead of saying about strange habits, the word strange habits right at the beginning of the speech, you could have expressed that by the stories you had put forth. So you needn't always have to give what you're speaking about on the first go itself. Keep the audience, curious about it. And so to summarize the entire thing, I absolutely loved that you connected with your style. You disseminated the style with the use of multiple stories, your own personal stories, which was wonderful. You had good comfort and confidence about your speech, which was again great. You had a smiling face, which again was beautiful. You may have to work a little bit upon your, the modulations and try to recollect with keywords, and then that will bring the flow of your speech. And then about the movement, again, take a firm movement. And whenever you're giving the speech next, please don't give away the whole secret of the speech at the beginning. Try to make it connect with the dots. And finally, one small thing which I already mentioned, would want to leave you with a takeaway. Try to be more concise and have the flow of the speech. You have a beautiful speech, you have a wonderful humor in the speech, but when an and sentence feels like a pause, it breaks the flow of the speech. So complete the sentence and then take a pause. That is my only recommendation here. I wish you very best for your future speeches. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Trisha. I will not be evaluating the speaker. If any of the speakers, if you want your feedback, you can connect with me offline in the interest of time, right? Evaluator Trisha, for the benefit of guests who are non-Toastmasters, what she just demonstrated here is what we call the sandwich method of evaluating, which most of our evaluators will be following. So they talk about the key good points, good examples. Second, the areas of improvement, and summarize with giving one challenge to the speaker as homework for themselves. I now invite our second evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir, to evaluate your speaker, Toastmaster Vaishak.
Where are you, Toastmaster Vaishak? Good afternoon, everybody, and a special one to Toastmaster Vaishak, Mr. BC. Put my marriage in deep water. What a wonderful connected speech title that you had for this speech. I would like to definitely congratulate you because the entire story that you delivered today definitely met the purpose of the entire project. What I absolutely love about this speech that you delivered here today, that humor comes natural to you. You smile, people smile around you. I think it spreads that way. So your speech was filled with, parts which were filled with humor. You had a smart choice of words and language that you entered in the entire speech from the very beginning towards the end. What comes natural to you also is a voice clarity. You speak slow, you have a good rate of speech. Everybody from the left to right can understand you, and that definitely plays in the positive tone. You had a wonderful opening to the entire speech. It's always good to ask people a question, ask them to raise hand. I think it definitely hooks the entire audience to what you're going to say, and you have everybody's attention, right? For the areas of improvement, especially on the voice modulation and body language, which I'll connect over here. Number one is a pause. I felt that you had the same flow for the entire speech. You were speaking and you kept speaking and kept speaking. Required a bit of a pause. Let people sink in with what you're saying if required to. Second thing, on the content bit, I personally felt, though it was a relatable story, however the ending felt a bit abrupt. We wanted to hear a little bit more as to what really happened, some more drama, and did it have like a happy ending to the prospect that everybody was expecting it to be. So maybe work it a bit on the ending. In terms of voice modulation, though it comes natural to you, voice clarity is part of it. However, if required, there was certain portion of your speech which required the voice to go a bit down, a mellow. Example, when I was speaking as a presiding officer, I had an incident where a friend of mine died. So I will automatically go down with my voice a bit. So people can connect to what I'm trying to say. In terms of body language, I felt you already about to master it, but we would like to also challenge you for your next speech to see if can Vaishak move or restrict his body language to maybe 3 portions of the stage. Speak from the middle if possible, go left a bit if possible, and try to go right if possible. Don't constantly move, because if you do, your audience look at you like a tennis match. And it becomes difficult for people to put in that particular concentration on a speaker if he or she keeps moving. Overall, you had a wonderful speech. I believe that we all need Mr. BC in Bangalore right now because it's pretty hot outside. And wonderful speech delivered, sprinkled with the humor. Everything that you did for the entire speech was wonderfully connected. I would like to personally connect with you after this session to provide you some more feedback. However, as a speaker, you did a wonderful job. I'm looking forward to hear from you more and more in future. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir. We all know he's a district champion for evaluation speech context, so I do not have a lot of feedback. However, one feedback for all evaluators is when you have to give an example for the speaker to improve, try and get an example from the speaker's speech rather than referring to your own address, right? Because the speaker can connect better, and at the end of the day, your feedback is for the speaker to improve. With that, a big round of applause to both the speakers. I now invite the third evaluator evaluator Toastmaster Raj to evaluate our third speaker Toastmaster Atul.
Always these guys put me in difficult situations. These evaluators, they come here, they are champions, they deliver. Now everybody expects, okay, now he's an EV membership, he's going to do extraordinary. No guys, I'm just a starter on this. So. Okay, before I start my evaluation for Atul, right, I would like everyone to give a round of applause. When you came on the stage, before you started speaking on your icebreaker speech, there was a message which was sent across to everyone, which is there on the t-shirt. Time to start something great. I don't know how many of you have noticed that. So it was an excellent speech. Trust me, when I delivered my first icebreaker, I had this paper in my hand. And this guy sitting here, he was looking at me with a different angle as to what I'm doing. So wonderful. Kudos to you. The clarity in the speech language was easily understood. The vocal variety, the usage of the tone, the speed and the volume used as a tool was understood across all guests and members. You had a very good eye contact with everyone, people sitting on the left, people sitting on the right. You had 15 to 20 seconds of eye contact moving from left to right, right to left, which was excellent. Your hand gestures was also good. You did not do too many hand gestures. When you were trying to narrate the story of your childhood, the hand gestures which you used, I can relate to that, and most of us would. The audience awareness, okay, when it comes to demonstrating on what you want to convey, okay, that was also very easily understood, and it went out loud and clear to everyone. You spoke about your childhood, journey. Your first icebreaker speech, guys, is basically about who you are, where you come from, what has been your journey. So the way you articulated, demonstrated, it was excellent. And topping on that, you used Maverick as an example. There are few Maverick in this room right now, okay, who are looking at me, so from different angles. We also have a Schumacher here, we'll come to know later on. You used to take responsibilities of his actions. You use that term in the Maverick. It shows your character and how you want to go about in life. So that was wonderful. Area of improvement, you can use the stage much more. Okay, like Mazahir said in his previous evaluation, you were firm at times. Okay, and the speech delivery was constant at one flow. You can take a pause when you talk about your childhood, when you talk about disciplinary actions which was taken, you had experienced that. Take a pause. Let the people in the crowd think. Let them relate, because each one of us has gone through that boat. So take a pause, and other than that, I think you were wonderful, and I look forward to your next speech.
Can we have a bigger round of applause for every time we have someone delivering their icebreaker or doing a role for the first time, let's be encouraging and give them a huge round of applause, right? Thank you, Toastmaster Raj, for taking up this evaluation, and congratulations on initiating your journey into evaluations. One feedback that I have for everyone who evaluate icebreakers. The objective of the icebreaker is only to come up here and deliver a speech. Not body language, not eye contact, not stage usage. So evaluate them. Go back to the time when you were up here delivering your icebreaker, right? And if the evaluator told you, use the stage, body language, I am shitting bricks standing here, just delivering a speech. So let's be mindful about that, all right?
Thank you, Toastmaster Raj. And we now move on to our fourth evaluator, Toastmaster Radha, evaluating our speaker, Toastmaster Mohan.
A Chennai boy who started his journey from Chennai, how he landed to engineering, how he explored different options, how he took a risk, how he never settled for less, started from zero and now landed to Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, give Toastmaster Mohan a huge round of applause. His life details and that too with utmost pride and confidence. But going with this CRC approach, I'll start with recommendation first. The first and foremost thing I loved about your speech is the zeal. You know, you had that zeal. You wanted to share your journey with audience because you looked so calm, comfortable, and you spoke your heart out. You shared so many details, personal details with the audience. Number two, the sequence or the chronology. So you started from how he started from Chennai, how he landed to engineering, how he shifted or explored different domains, how he took risk, how he wanted to upskill himself, and the ability, he promoted the ability to take risk. We got to know everything, and how you came to Bangalore and how you were giving your first speech. So the sequence was in chronological order, so congratulations. And the third thing, your personal touch. You tried to add humor. When you, in the opening you were saying there are three types of people, and you see the third one is the middle class. You were giving some context and you tried to have that humor. And second thing, you give so many details. That was your personal touch, like how you shifted, what was your mind, what is your relationship with the sea. So that was just all those details for personal touch, and that made speech memorable for people. If I talk about the recommendation part, the first one is you were doing this. So two reasons could be, number one, dehydration. So please have some water before coming to the stage. And second is use a pen or pencil and just put inside your mouth and practice, because this will definitely improve your diction. So that's a recommendation. Number two, title. I know there was a very intelligent person who said what is in the name. Bird in Toastmaster title plays an important role. I couldn't find your title because title is so crucial. Without title, I wouldn't go to watch the movie. And the third thing is the structuring. Of course, the opening, the body, and the conclusion. And this will take some time when you start giving more speeches. But to sum it up, it was a wonderful, motivating speech which promoted the ability to take risk, upskilling oneself, and never settle for the less. Just working on the speech structuring, giving a suitable title, enjoying yourself would make you sort out your speech. All the best for your future.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radha. That was another very good example of a very crisp and a personalized evaluation for a speaker who's just starting their journey. Because all of us, we are not really well aware of who are we as speakers, what is our natural style, and what are the areas of improvement, basically starting from step 1, step 2, step 3. So a big round of applause to all our speakers and all our evaluators. Alright, I'll now call our tag team. I request the tag team to be very concise. Request the timer, Toastmaster Sarva, just talk about the speakers and role takers who exceeded their time. Rest is okay.
Toastmaster Mohan took 6 minutes 51 seconds, and Toastmaster Trisha took 5 minutes 1 second. Rest all are within the time, and we are congratulations all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarva. I request our accountant, Toastmaster Saurabh, to share your report. Again, anyone who's exceeded by more than 5 hours in this class.
emphasize actually. This place we are getting connected and improving ourselves. There could be a local accent. There could be excitement or maybe pressure to come here, but this place is a place where we practice and improve. That is our point. I will go only with the now, will not say anything else. So Kevin, 6R. Few like and I mean are there, that is less than 5. I will go for only 5. So Mohan, yeah, the R was there once, and I think there's an accent sound which I consider maybe 3 letters. That is 11. Don't worry, like I also have an accent. I used to stammer. I still stammer. So that is okay. I am comfortable with that kind of thing. And Raj spoke R 10 times. I think everyone else is lower than 2. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all my Toastmaster and my dear guest. What a wonderful, thoughtful speech from everyone get delivered by today. Let's have a big round of applause for all these speakers who speaks and given a lot of motivation. And for the audience as well, I know this is one of the biggest meeting which is more than 1.5 hours, and everyone shows a lot of patience and everyone I can see the active. So a lot of kudos to all of you. So I started as a grammarian. The word of the day was disseminate. That means spread the things. I saw very few speakers use this word. Nibi, you use once. Kevin, you use twice. Akshay, you use once. I have a 2-page with full of data, but as an interest of time, I will like to go with some of the shortlisted good words. The first is attempting, state habits, charity begins from home. My wife keep saying it, so this is very close to my heart. Another is jar down, disclaimer, thunder, glimpse of the truth. And the last one is from Toastmaster Vaisakh, BC. I was thinking what is a BC, and then that was a coming on some phrases, faster task before bucket get filled, healthy laughter after the talk. From Toastmaster actually. Not to be so hard on yourself. Keep connections to the neighbor, very important one. We are staying in a society where we hardly know each other. Sometimes somebody asks me who is your neighbor and I don't know. So let's keep connecting with your neighbors, and that was the theme of it. The methodology which our table topic Toastmaster used, opinion, reasons and example. Very important. When we comes on the stage, we've been asked to speak about 2 minutes and we end up with the 30 seconds. Method, then definitely everyone can speak more than 2 minutes. The last one from Sid, and I will start following up from today. In life, your network may be your network. I truly admire this and I will try to follow this. Thanks, Sid. That's all from my side.
Toastmaster Krishna. Now I will try and be as concise as possible. Do you want to announce is the polling already out? Okay, alright. Do you want to just announce that? So the link for the poll will be shared on the guest as well as the club group. Please make sure you can vote for the best speaker, role maker, etc. Alright. Moving on to my report for the role players. Distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir, you played 3 roles in today's meeting, so I will evaluate you based on what was expected as a part of your role. So first, as Sergeant Sergeant at Arms. I love that you were here early. You started the meeting bang on time at 11 a.m. You started with energy. You set the example of what are the club etiquettes to be followed right at the beginning. You set up the camera, you set up the room, you ensured that the place was ready for when the members started trickling in. Areas of improvement: one, if you have to refer to maybe a vision or a mission statement, have that handy. It's not nice to have a pause when you have a really good flow going on, because then it's like a hiccup, right? One. Second, you guys usually have a board with all of the meeting details. I missed that today, especially when there are guests in the meeting. I think it will help them when they don't know a lot of members here who are playing the roles, etc. But for our job exceptionally done, let's give our Sergeant at Arms, Distinguished Toastmaster. Now, DTM Mazahir, as presiding officer for the meeting, you continue with the energy that you had set up as a Sergeant at Arms. I think what we all love about you is your confidence when you come up here and you own the stage, right? You spoke about the theme, you invited the guests to introduce themselves to everybody at the meeting. You connected the theme to Toastmasters, but I just wish you had spoken a little bit more about Toastmasters. At the end of the day, we are here from the Toastmasters fraternity. So I wish you had connected and spoken a little bit more about the theme as it relates to Toastmasters fraternity. You introduced the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kevin. A small suggestion is, can we have maybe 1 or 2 pointers about who is Kevin as an individual or a person apart from the role taker? So this is a note for everybody. Whenever we take up a role and where we have to introduce somebody, let's hype up the speaker before they come up here. A little bit about who are they individually or their accomplishments, right? But apart from that, job very well done as presiding officer. A big round of applause to our presiding officer. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kevin. What I absolutely loved is you selected this theme, you spoke about the theme, and you also brought in the theme of Mother's Day, wishing everybody here in the room. Not all of us are mothers here, some of our mothers to pets maybe, but it was still a nice gesture, right? I loved how you brought in a little bit of your uniqueness, as in you're from Kerala and how people stay connected from where you are from. I think that gave us a unique perspective into your life in general outside of what we know of you as Kevin the Toastmaster in Bangalore. I love that you kept up the energy throughout, but what I would suggest as recommendations, at certain spaces I felt like there was no consistent flow. As Toastmaster of the day, your role is that of an MC. As an MC, you hold the entire program together. If someone's exceeding time, you make sure that you have control over the program. So going forward, the next time you take up the role of a Toastmaster of the day, what I would recommend for you is, one, keep up the energy and make sure you're the one who leads the applause in the room. Second, keep the flow consistent, your energy consistent throughout the meeting. There are 2-3 more areas of improvement, but I will give it to you offline. For a role very well done and for holding today's meeting together, what does our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kevin, deserve? Table topic master. What I absolutely loved is your topics was relatable and everybody who came up here were able to speak for a minimum of 1 minute. You explained the framework of table topics, how it's conducted, and also went a step ahead as to how can one attempt a table topic. So those guests here in the room who are not Toastmasters, you also gave them an idea as to how can they approach the topic. So that I think was really commendable. I don't see that done by a lot of table topic masters. I love the little Oreo thing. I've actually jotted down and I'm going to use that in the future when I take out table topic master. Only one suggestion that I have for you is keep the topics short as much as possible. Some of the topics I think were really long, and what generally happens is if I know that I might be a potential target by a table topic master, there's already butterflies and whatnot running in my stomach, and then coming up here and having to remember
it might not be the best. So that's the only feedback that I have for you, but otherwise a job very well done. I love that you identified people in the audience who are non-role takers, non-speakers, and you also called out for guests, invited them to come and speak. So kudos to you for a job very well done. Our table topic master. And now I come to the conclusion of my general evaluation. Whitefield Toastmasters Club, the ExCom committee, can you just raise your hands? Guys, these guys from the ExCom committee have been doing a fabulous job. You can put your hands down. The club started only in the month of November, December or so, and in a span of 6 months, having an audience this big, making sure that you're inviting guests, calling guests, inviting them to the meeting, and having such a wonderful agenda, getting everybody involved, it's not easy. So give yourselves a pat on your back for doing such a fabulous job with the club. Two areas of improvement. I have come in as a general evaluator. I have seen you guys from day one. I think you have your fundamentals right. And my recommendations are just to build on your fundamentals. Two, first thing, if you have icebreaker speakers and advanced speakers in your speech list, you always slot the icebreakers first. That is so that the speakers don't feel intimidated by the more advanced speakers coming up, right? First. Second, I think plan out the meeting a little bit better. Maybe the VP Education and the committee can work together on setting up an agenda and circulating that in the club group as well as the guest group so that everybody knows what to expect in the meeting. These are my two takeaways for the club in general today. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me here. And I think Toastmasters is a prime example of how staying connected helps. The last couple of years, I've been waking up on my Saturdays and Sundays with calls from Toastmasters saying, hey, somebody backed out, can you please take up so-and-so role? And that's exactly what happened this morning. I woke up with a call by your presiding officer today, hey, we need a general evaluator, are you free? Can you please come take up the role? So I think staying connected is essential for all of us as Toastmasters. We are here, we grow as a community. So with that in mind, have a fabulous rest of the weekend, guys, and over to the presiding officer for closing remarks.
Okay, so in our club, we follow a Toastmaster of the month. There are a couple of points that have been given to everybody who delivers a speech, attend the meeting outside, and there are various things that you can get in touch with our VP Education Toastmaster Rishabh and Toastmaster Piyush for the month of April 2023, we have our Toastmaster of the month. There is no secret because it's already been revealed, but I would like to introduce him on the stage and give a warm applause to him as a Toastmaster of the day for Toastmaster of the month for Toastmaster to Toastmaster Akshay, April 2023. Can we take a picture with him? So apparently he was supposed to be available for the last meeting. However, because it was a linkers meeting, so I didn't want to do it there. I'm doing it here. Congratulations, Akshay. And he's our Toastmaster of the month for the consecutive 2 months, guys. Congratulations. Our photographer is not satisfied, so yeah. Smile. Thank you. Congratulations. One more point to add on that he has one Toastmaster of the month for the month of March as well. So I think definitely a better round of applause for the consistency. The second announcement that I have while I'm making it, I request you to please go through our guest group and our members group. You have a voting link. As a presiding officer, considering that we had an icebreaker speech and somebody who's probably doing this role for the second or the third time, so I would like to probably excuse it from the time. I'm requesting our time management timekeeper to allow us for that. Do I have your permission? Thank you. So please vote for the best role player among the 3, the best auxiliary role player among the 4. There were 4 speakers and there were 4 speech evaluators. Technically, I know that if there was a speech beyond level 2, I would have definitely separated the speaker separate and the evaluator as well. However, because these speeches were all close to level 1s, so we were all categorized the same. You heard 4 speakers, you heard 4 speech evaluator, please vote for them. Coronation 2023. The annual event for District 92 is taking place at Hilton, Bangalore, May 27, May 28, Saturday and Sunday. We actually are leading in the entire district with the huge number of people who are going to attend that. I believe we have close to 8 to 10 people who are going from our club already. We request you to kindly register yourself for it. Please note, we will not have a meeting during that weekend. So coronation weekend, we will not have a regular meeting. All of us on a Saturday as well as on a Sunday will go to Hilton together as we do. Carpooling will be available. Let us know when you stay. Talk to me post the meeting. The last announcement along with the voting result that I have is our 25th milestone meeting. We said we started our meeting somewhere in the month of November and December, and I'm proud to say that this year, 2023, we haven't had a single meeting online. All of our meetings were in person only. This place will remain with us until the month of September and beyond, right? We paid for this particular place, so we'll continue to have in-person meetings only, apart from a couple of cancellations. So what's special, Messiah, for 25th milestone? It's an outdoor meeting. Sunday, this meeting, we are welcoming every guest and our member. It is for all of us. There will be a Sunday outing that will take place. We are yet to decide on a place. So if you have a place in your mind wherein you know you can come and suggest us, please let us know. It is going to be a place where we will leave in the morning, somewhere let's say around 7, 8 o'clock, and will return by the evening. So total outdoor meeting. Now I'll move on to the result for today's meeting. As the secretary says, we have only received about 8 votes. I don't know what you guys are doing. So please vote now. Vote for the best speaker. Even if you are one of the speakers, it's fine. Go ahead and provide your feedback to others. It's important. I'm just going to tell him to send it to me anyway. And once again, because there were very few guests who were available towards the beginning of the meeting, can we have a round of applause for all the guests who joined us today? Please note, Whitefield Toastmaster means time. Time means Whitefield Toastmaster. We start our meeting at 11 o'clock sharp. We understand there could be unfortunate scenarios due to which you can't make it to the meeting on time. And we appreciate that there were people who made sure they could have actually said no for the meeting. Despite of that, they came, even if they made it a little late, it's okay. We understand that. However, if you wish, you can definitely try to be here around 10:30 or 10:45 or so. So this will give us some time, to network with you. Our Sergeant at Arms has also made sure that we have refreshment available in the room because we are kind of exceeding. I'm only waiting for the results to come, which is what is holding you and the snacks, which is available right now. As soon as the results are ready, I'll let you know. Apart from that, towards the end of the meeting, we would request you to kindly, if you're a guest, kindly speak with Toastmaster Raj, who's our membership, as well as us. And also, we will gather over here for a picture. Just give me a thumbs up if you guys all voted. Okay, there are a couple of people who are not raising their thumbs up, so I'm like, okay, cool, like, makes sense. But definitely the count is more than 8, so I'm waiting for it. Alright, so results are popping in now. I love this silence though.
When is the 25th meeting? What date?
Oh yeah, okay, I'm so sorry, I forgot about that. Okay, June 18th is June, yeah, I know, so it's like far away, I don't even know, I don't know what is my plan for the upcoming weekend. Zahid, how are you so sure? The reason why I'm telling June 18th is because if you have any plan, please postpone. The good thing is that if you have a spouse who is either connected or not so connected to Toastmaster, it's an opportunity for you to bring your partners along. We welcome them as well. Welcome your friends as well if you have anybody else. Even if you are a guest, please do come forward for this meeting. Again, it's an outdoor meeting. June 18th, the entire Sunday, is going to be the 25th meeting milestone, which will be an outdoor meeting, so please keep yourself free. The best speaker of today's meeting goes to Toastmaster Vaishak. Congratulations. I think this is paid. Best evaluator for today's meeting is Toastmaster Mazahir. Okay, Satyendra is saying ignore this. I'm going to wait for it, but let me anyway announce it right now. The best role player for today's meeting goes to Toastmaster Arindam as a table topic master. And the best auxiliary role player is the time management person, Toastmaster Sarla. Congratulations to you. I think it's a feedback for all of us to be on time. So I, Mazahir, closing the meeting number 21 for Whitefield Toastmaster. Can we all gather over here? We'll take a quick picture. Can we close the